Hi, welcome to Mariel Beads and Beyond. Today I'm gonna show you how to make this beautiful bracelet. It matches with the captivity ring. Actually, this is called captivity bracelet. It's really pretty and it's not that hard to make. In my Spanish channel, I'm going to be making the variation. It's the same thing. The only difference is you can see this one is like stay like round. This one it's all flat and it has more flexibility. The only difference is the embellishment. It's going to be the same process. For this one, I use Montees, but in case you don't have Montees, so I have this one with bicons. If you take a close look, it's just like small difference. The materials are going to be available at MarielBeadsandBeyond.com. Also, I'm going to have reading instructions available. So I hope you guys like this tutorial. Let's get started. We are going to pick up 16 11/0s. We are going to bring them down. We are going to sew through the first 4 and we want to leave 6 inches tail to add our clasp. We are going to pick up 1 11/0. Our thread, it's exiting from this 11/0. We are going to sew from the bottom to the top. We are going to sew down through the 11 that we just add. We are going to pick up 1 11. Our thread is exiting from this 11 that we just add. We are going to sew through the second 11. And we are going to sew back through the 11 that we just add. We are going to pick up 1 11. Our thread is exiting from this bead. We are going to sew through the next 11 on the previous row. And we are going to sew back down through the 11 that we just add. We are going to pick up 1 11. We are going to sew through the next 11, and that's the 11 where the tail of our thread is coming out of. We are going to sew down through the bead that we just add. We are going to sew up through the 4. And we are going to continue through 4 more. We are going to repeat these steps 3 more times. 1 time here, 2 times, 3 times. I'm done with my rows. My thread is exiting from the 11. We are going to reverse direction and we are going to sew through 3 out of the 4 on top. We are going to pick up a pearl and we are going to sew through the same 11 across from this row. So this is 4 and we're coming out of the third 11. So we are going to sew, this will be the third 11 and then through one more. So we are going to sew through 2 out of the 4. We are going to sew back through the pearl. We are going to sew through the same bead that our thread is exiting from. So our thread is exiting from this bead. If you look across, it'll be the second, and then we are going to continue through 2 more. At this time, if you want to reinforce, it's good. So you can go ahead and do that. Now we're going to pull these together and we are going to pull. I will recommend to reinforce. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to back up 1 and we are going to reinforce. So through the pearl. So through the 2 in the center out of the 4 that we have. So back through the pearl. And then we're gonna sew through 3. Our thread is exiting from this seed bead right here. We are going to sew through the 4 underneath. We are going to sew through 4 more. And we are going to come down through 4 more. We are going to repeat step 2 to 4. So we want to have 4 rows of herringbone. And I'll be right back to show you the next step. We are going to pick up 12 11/0. Our thread, it's exiting from this bead right here. We are going to sew down we are going to sew through 4 more, and we are going to repeat the previous steps. So we are going to make a row of a square stitch 3 times, and then we're going to add our pearl the same way. We are going to reverse through 3 on top, and as you can see, it's the same steps still. I just want to show you one more time. Pick up a pearl, and we are going to sew directly across, which will be these 2. We are going to sew back through the pearl, we are going to sew through the 2 in the center, we are going to reinforce, back through the pearl, we are going to sew through 3, we are going to sew down through the 4 base beads, and we are going to sew through 4 more. Our thread is exiting from this bead. We are going to pick up 111/0, we are going to pick up 1 Montee and 111/0. Our thread is exiting from this bead. We are going to skip the 2 rows, and then we are going to sew through the fourth. We are going to pick up 1/11. We are going to sew through the hole of the Montee. We are going to pick up 1/11. Our thread is exiting from the Montee. We are going to sew through the first row of 11/0 when we started. And this is what you should have. We are going to sew up through the 11/0. We are going to pick up 1/15. Our thread is exiting from the 11/0 that we previously had. Sew through the Montee. Pick up a 15/0. Our thread is exiting from the Montee. We are going to sew through the 11. We are going to sew through the row of 11/0. Our thread is exiting from this bead right here. We are going to sew up through the 11, pick up a 15, sew through the Montee, pick up a 15, sew down through the 11, and we are going to sew through the 4/11s. At this point, if you feel like you need to reinforce, you can. When you are using Montees, it's always good to reinforce. So let's go ahead and reinforce. We are going to sew down through the 4. Sew through 4 more. Through 4 more. We are going to come down through the next 4, and we are in position to continue making our bracelet. So we are going to repeat the same steps until we get the length we need for our bracelet. So continue, and I'll be right back to show you how to add the clasp. So you just gotta continue repeating the steps, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to add the clasp so you can go ahead and finish your bracelet. So this is the tail of our thread. Our thread is exiting from this bead. We are going to sew through the next 4 beads. We are going to pick up 3/11. We are going to grab our wire guardian. So through the wire guardian, we are going to set our clasp through the wire guardian. We are going to pass our needle through the clasp. We are going to come down through the other hole of the wire guardian. We are going to sew through the first bead. Pick up 2 11/0. As you can see, we started from this side, so we are going to sew through this side. All that you're gonna do right now is reinforce, and that will be the last step. I just wanted to go ahead and finish the tutorial so you can make this beautiful bracelet. I hope you guys like this tutorial. I hope it was easy to follow along. If you like my videos, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. I apologize that it's been so long since I make a tutorial, but hopefully I'm gonna start to post tutorials often. So I can't promise, but I'm going to try. So until next time, remember the materials are going to be available at MarielBeadsandBeyond.com.